This is Clint, host of the Geek League podcast and your future overlord. You are listening to This Freakin' Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of This Freakin' Show, the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. I'm your host, Travis T, and alongside me this evening,
Awkward Colin.
And Geekcast Joe.
And this episode of This Freakin' Show is brought to you by Firepit Bar and Grill of Peotone, Illinois. If you're looking for a down-home country restaurant that offers a burger and beer for just $7.99 every Monday and Wednesday, you got to check out the Firepit Bar and Grill of Peotone. You can find them at Facebook at Firepit Bar or go to our website, firepitbar.com.
This Freakin' Show is also brought to you by WeAreDapperTies.com. If you want a great tie for an even better price, check out WeAreDapperTies.com, where you can get high-quality knit ties for only $15. If you use the special discount code FREAKIN, that's FREAKIN, you can also get free shipping on your order. So go on over to WeAreDapperTies.com and order yourself a fantastic knit tie today.
So finally, luckily, thisfreakinshow.com is up and running again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I looked into it. I think it was it had to been yesterday, Saturday. I went onto this it's a messenger thing on the site builder website that we use, and I just told them they came through and hello, this is Kevin, which we know the name's not really Kevin. And that's how can I help you? And I told him, our website's not working. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What seems to be a problem? It's not working. it's like you go to our website, it says unavailable. And I guess from what happened was the fucking IP address, I guess, for the website somehow cleared itself on the domain site that we bought the domain from.
Weird.
Yeah, I didn't understand why, because I told him I didn't touch anything on the website we bought the domain from, so it should all be the same. So I'm assuming when it renewed itself, auto-renewed itself, it kind of cleared everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I put it back in there, and now it's all working again.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, so it's a plus for the week. So there's a positive. Downfall is people are putting up Christmas decorations already.
Oh, I know. Tell me about
Non sequitur.
It makes no sense to start putting up Christmas decorations when we are still 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving.
Right?
A week away from Thanksgiving. But yeah, I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. I had to record JFW today because Dizzle J was too busy putting up his Christmas tree yesterday. Blows my mind.
You gotta get myself, you gotta get a bell that you can ring and just walk around behind him and shame him.
Down the street.
Yep, Game of Thrones style.
Yes.
It just makes absolutely no sense. Why do people want to do this stuff so early? I
have no idea.
I mean, from at a younger, when I was younger and stuff and living at home, we normally put up Christmas decorations the weekend of Thanksgiving, the following Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's more acceptable. You put them up the day after Thanksgiving. You take them down the day after New Year's. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think they need to designate days for National Decorating Day, and or National Take Your Shit Down Day.
Mm-hmm.
National Decorating Day.
Well, it's interesting too. I learned a lot of people in the church that I'm in actually don't set up their Christmas trees until after Christmas.
Wait, what?
Because the Christmas season in the church calendar doesn't officially begin until Christmas Day, and so you celebrate Christmas Day and then you put your tree up and you celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, and then the tree stays up until mid-February.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that is a way that can be done.
Yeah. Well, honestly, that makes more sense to me than putting it up before Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, I agree there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's weird. If you go to Mantino, which is 10 minutes south of us, they start putting up the town Christmas decorations the day after Halloween.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I get it, like maybe because they have a lot of decorations to put up and shit, but it shouldn't take a month and a half to do it.
Mm-mm.
No.
But
No.
it just makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, I noticed in my neighborhood, this is the first place I've ever lived where people are actually decorating for Thanksgiving. So like the Halloween decorations came down, and then it was like pumpkins and scarecrows and like stalks of corn are showing up all over the place.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's like someone dumped just an entire bucket of pumpkin spice right in the middle of my neighborhood. But it's kind of neat because I've never seen that before. Because usually it is these days. It's Halloween and then it's Christmas and Thanksgiving. Perhaps I'd say it's the second best holiday of the year. Gets totally shafted.
I have to admit, I have seen people decorate for Thanksgiving. Now, I mean, they don't go all like Halloween or Christmas, but they do decorate.
Yeah. So it's weird, but I like it. I mean, like I said, it's nice to not see Christmas decorations yet.
Yeah. My girlfriend wanted to put up the Christmas tree. And I said no.
That's
We bargain. And
that's what the turkey calories are for. Gosh darn it!
we bargain, and we put it up so she could see it, and then we took it right back down.
That's the way to do it.
Well, that's compromise right there. Now, how big is this tree that you put up and took back down?
6 foot.
Wow.
Supposedly it's 6 foot. The way they get it 6 foot is having this really tall, long fucking thing, little stem that sticks up.
Mm.
Other than that, I'm taller than it.
Oh, jeez.
So.
Oh, that's kind of funny. We haven't even brought our tree up from Indiana where it's in storage yet.
Yeah. I'm debating if I should get a tree again this year. I didn't have one last year, so I'm not sure if I would get one this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought about getting a fake one, but, I mean, I should have gotten a fake one when the season ended, when they went on sale, because they're more affordable then.
Yep.
Yeah, just do that this year.
Yeah, that's what I probably would do. I mean, like, because I celebrate Christmas over at my mom's and my dad, so, I mean, it's not like people come over to my house for Christmas, so... I mean, like, even decorating, like, just seems like a chore that's, like, I don't really need to do. You know, it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just be decorating for myself. And I got rid of a lot of my Christmas decoration, like those pop-up plastic things, like the snowman and the Santa Claus and stuff. I sold all those in the garage sale because storing those is a bitch and a half, and I'm not taking them in and out of the crawl space every year.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could find, like, maybe I'll get, like, one of those projectors that just shoots, like, 1,000 lights onto your house.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The Atmos projectors?
I don't know what it is,
I
but
think
it's
that's what
quick
they're
and
called.
simple. Oh, well, yeah, I think it's quick and simple. It'd be easier that way. And I'm not climbing on my fucking roof to hang lights from the gutter.
Yeah,
Fuck
no
that.
kidding. Your roof isn't even as high up as your mom's.
Yeah, no, they definitely have, like, fucking obstacles to fucking get to fucking decorate mom's house. But no, I mean, like, mine's just like, it's really just a gutter around the garage and then the partial one, in the front, over the front window, which, I mean, like, decorating my house wouldn't be hard to do. It's just I have no motivation to do it because I don't really celebrate too much Christmas at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only Christmas related shit I did at my house last year was me and Colin opened gifts. And that was about it.
Yeah.
And we don't have that this year, so it's like, I'll put up like the stuff like inside, like my Christmas village and like hang the stuff on the walls that I have and things like that. But as far as outside, it's just it's more electricity that I have to burn. I mean, like, it's not like I'm gonna enjoy them because I work nights anyway, so
Right.
they're not gonna be on during the day, and I'm not gonna leave them on while I'm gone. It just makes no sense at this time. Now, eventually, like, if I find a lady who wants to spend time with me, and maybe if she has a kid, I'll be more festive. But I mean, for the time being, I'm a single guy that works nights, so it's like, why go through all the trouble of doing all that decorating?
Yep.
Yeah. So how am I sounding right now? Because I'm using my awesome new microphone, and I'm hoping this sounds pretty good.
I think you sound great.
That sound good? Perfect. Yeah. I gotta tell you though, it is kind of weird staring into this thing because it looks like fucking the Tin Man is trying to get head.
Yep.
I mean, like, I don't remember what color yours is, but I got like the silver one.
Oh, mine's white.
Is it? Okay, yeah, because mine looks like I'm like in fucking Oz about to fellatio the fucking Tin Man.
The Tin Man's gonna...
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, jeez. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just so weird, like staring at it. Like, I'm trying to look at the computer screen, and then I look down at the microphone, and like, I'm almost going cross-eyed with it.
Yep.
I gotta tell you, I love this Yeti, and I recommend anyone to get one.
Yeah, they're fantastic microphones. I really enjoy mine.
Yeah,
so, I mean, even though it is kind of a cock mic.
Right. I mean, it's like I could I used it as the microphone for the recordings I did at the wrestling shows, and it turned out great.
Oh, great.
Especially when you could like adjust it to just like, you know, just your voice, so it's like getting the sound from one side. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, especially in a crowded venue like that. That's got to be.
Oh yeah, and it was weird too because like they had the music playing like loud, like all around us. And when I used the sound configuration on the editing, it pretty much took all the music out.
Fantastic.
I know, it was crazy.
Huh. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and people are. I'm sitting there doing the recordings and shit. I'm like, what is this witchery? But speaking of witchery, we have an exciting show this evening. I've been working on my segues. How do you like them?
They're good.
Excellent.
They're good. They're better than GCRs were for a while there.
So I thought, like, you know, we had an idea of a show we wanted to do during the month of October when we celebrate Halloween, and we wanted to talk about mythical creatures and, you know, things that kind of freak people out, to kind of go bump in the night and shit, but we never actually did it.
No.
So I figured, you know, it's better to do it sooner rather than later. So I figured we just do it on this show since we only have one more episode until the season finale.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I figured we start season 3, then we just missed it completely. So as long as we get it within season 2, you know, it's almost like, you know, same thing. But yeah, I mean, I just figured what we do is kind of talk about, like, we each picked our own certain creature, and we kind of talk a little bit about them, and then just do some honorable mentions.
Okay,
that sounds good.
Cool. Joey, why don't you go first with your creature?
Sure, I'll set the bar as low as I can possibly set it. No, I'm kidding. So I looked up the chupacabra, which is Spanish for the goat sucker. Apparently, it was first sighted sometime in the 1970s, and depending on who you ask, the uptick in sightings happened in the mid 90s, I'd say. And ever since then, there have been fewer and fewer sightings, but they still occasionally happen. And what's interesting to me that I didn't know before was that there are actually 2 different descriptions of what a chupacabra can look like. One of them is kind of the traditional sort of goblin-y, you know, an oval-shaped head, big eyes. It's bipedal, so it stands on 2 back legs, and then it's sort of lizard-like, reptilian. It's got these spines down its back, 2 small teeth, and then like a tongue that's good for slurping up blood. And then there's another version of it that people have cited that looks like a small hairless dog, but it still has those spines. So like picture like a chihuahua that would be fitted with sort of prosthetics to play in Men in Black or something. But yeah, so what would happen is people would go out to their barns or whatever, and they'd check on their livestock, and they'd find their animals were just totally drained of blood. And so, and there'd be 2 little pinpricks, kind of usually near their throats, their carotid arteries. And yeah, so it's this great mix of it's like a vampire meets a goblin. I was reading one site that compares it to the Jersey Devil, which Travis will get to later. Yeah, so it's really neat, and it's really interesting, kind of how quickly the mythos evolved, considering no one had really. It wasn't something that was part of the cultural mindset until the mid 1970s. So, a much more relatively new mythical creature compared to many of the beings I assume we'll talk about tonight.
Okay. Yeah, I saw some on here because I was kind of looking at, kind of reading through some things as you're talking about it. Other people described it as a hairless bear.
Ooh, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, see, resembling a hairless bear, sometimes with spikes on its back.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Or a hairless dog. Some photos of people that found just turned out to be coyotes with severe cases of mange.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
But no, I think this one and I guess the three that we're going to talk about is what I consider like probably the three most popular in the United States, at least.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So yeah, I mean, like, because I don't know, like, yeah, I think there was a story on Weirdings that somebody witnessed seeing something like this. I think it was a chupacabra. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, that's really interesting. I gotta go check out their podcast still.
Yeah, it's really good. Their fourth episode comes out this week.
Listeners, you should join me. We'll talk about it on Twitter. At
There you
GeekCastJoe.
go. Yeah, and what I like about it and what they started doing, like, so they weren't like only like because they release the show every other week, but what they also do is the off weeks they don't release a full show. They release a mini show called like A Little Weird, and it's one story.
Nice.
So it kind of keeps them like consistently going every week. So you get like a whole show, which is like 3, maybe 4 stories every other week, and you get a little snippet show once a week. And I think actually this week with their 4th episode, I think another one of my stories is going to appear on it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm super excited for that. I love that show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those guys were good guests. So I haven't listened to their show, obviously, but
yeah. Well, I'm hoping to definitely get them on again. Another great show that I recently found, and actually Fear mentioned it when he was on here, is he started a new podcast with a fellow Canadian, Mandy, called Box Office Beats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a pretty good show. Like, I didn't think like I would like be more into it because all it is it's music that you find within movies. So like I didn't think I would like find much interest in it, but it's actually a pretty good show.
Fantastic. Box Office Beats.
Yeah, it's they have a website. It's called BobEatsPod.com.
Nice.
Yeah, see, throwing that plug out for Fear.
I'm sure he appreciates that.
Yeah.
As I go
Yeah. Colin, why don't you go next with your creature?
Okay. Well, my creature is the infamous Bigfoot. It is one of the most well-known, if not the most well-known, cryptid that is around. Goes by many names. Skunk ape, Yowie, Mandy, or the snow version.
Skunk ape.
Yep.
Sorry, that made me laugh.
That's usually down in like the swamps.
Mm-hmm.
And the snow version is the Yeti. It's just location where it's at. So, but this is a creature that has been around for a long time. They have been in legend and in lure for dating back very long time. It's hard to say when exactly, but there's been reports everywhere, all over the world. Every country has a version of it, except probably Antarctica. But yeah, it's a tall creature. Tends to be roughly between 6 and 9 feet tall. Depending on where it's at, they are like basically gorillas, but walk like humans.
Interesting.
And they're always like that. So, and the most where it came into like the sightings really started picking up was after the 1967 video of the Patterson-Gimlin film, which was shot out in Oregon. They caught, I'm sure if you've heard anything on the Bigfoot, you probably have seen the footage. It's just the guys were walking out there, and then they got about 59 seconds worth, about a minute worth of footage of a creature that starts walking and then turns, looks at the camera, and then walks off. A lot of history there. I mean, there's speculation that's fake and all that, but I mean, of course it is, because it's cryptid. We've never found bodies, but there's a whole bunch of different histories, like said to bury their children, or bury their bodies like humans do. And I mean, there's hoaxes up the wazoo. I mean, you even see on TV a whole bunch of finding Bigfoot. There's a whole bunch of different Bigfoot shows on TV, along with there's actually teams that go out and hunt for these. I'm sure there are with all the other ones too, but I mean, this is well-funded teams go out and research these things. And I myself love watching documentaries on them. Very interesting to watch. You always find they're always in like woodland areas. I mean, it's never like out in a cornfield or something. But so many things have been mistaken. Like bears have been mistaken for them. I don't know what any of you guys think, but in my opinion, I believe that there's possibly something out there that could possibly be living like that. Because they say, oh yeah, it's never going to happen because we know too much. There's no way that these creatures could ever be found. I mean, they're too big that they would have had to been seen and captured and all that. And
I think people who say that don't realize how big the world is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. And from what one of the actually was pretty interesting and kind of what I thought in a slight way. They say that more people that live in the city see like the cryptids like Bigfoot and them as being monsters and evil, where more people that are outside the city don't necessarily see them as evil. They just see them as more just a regular creature, like a deer or a bear.
Huh.
So, but yeah, if you guys like Bigfoot, there's so many things you can look up about him, and they range all over. So
it's interesting. I always figured they were like a Pacific Northwest thing.
Nope, they are everywhere, and they, like I said, they go by different names. Mm-hmm. There's even some that are in Illinois. So, but yeah, definitely something to look into if you like this kind of things. And fun tidbit fact before I end. Advertising for the new Google Home. You can ask Google Home animal creatures, and you can ask, what does a Bigfoot sound like? And she has a recording of it.
Oh my goodness.
And she will play it for you.
I imagine it sounds like Chewbacca.
Yeah, I can see it. No, I would sound more like I say like a bear.
Is it like a bear?
Bear, bear gorilla. You know.
I thought you were going to say Bear Grylls for a second there.
No, I almost said that. I had to catch myself. But
Do you believe that Bigfoot is more bear-like or more like gorilla-like? Like in your own opinion?
in my own opinion,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably say gorilla-like.
See, that's how I always thought. I mean, like a lot of people always think like Bigfoot was like is more bear-like. It's just like a bear standing on like its back legs. But I mean, whenever it's portrayed, like it's always portrayed almost ape-like, not so much bear-like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love Bigfoot too because of the way that like pop culture has grabbed it, right? So like Harry and the Hendersons, or there was that time in the late 80s and early 90s where there were like 7 or 8 Bigfoot movies came out where it was basically like Leave It to Beaver, but with a Bigfoot somewhere in it.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's always what I think of. Even though probably, if it exists, it's probably a very dangerous creature. I still just have such a soft place in my heart for those goofy animatronic, basically Uncle Festers.
You say you think it's a dangerous creature?
I would assume that if it's out there in the wild, it's probably is wild, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be, but not like a monster, correct?
No, yeah, not like a monster. I just mean dangerous in the same way that like a gorilla could be dangerous or a bear could be dangerous.
If you go up to a grizzly bear out there.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like, you don't want to mess with
I always thought, I always thought like when it came to like, like the years that spanned like Bigfoot sightings, if anyone, or I mean, obviously no one could actually think of it because no one's ever witnessed it firsthand. Could it possibly be like the same Bigfoot, or I mean, like, could it possibly be like a breeding of like new Bigfoots?
Well, the interesting thing is that a lot of things I've heard, like they just say that they do breed and stuff, but also that I'm hearing a lot lately that they believe that they can go on the supernatural side of going parallel dimension. So like a spirit kind of way can be seen if they want to be seen and all that. It's pretty interesting. So
yeah, I mean, and a lot of that kind of sounds like like people expanding on like the legend itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could believe like there could be something out there that we're not sure what it is that could be almost like part human, part animal. Like, I probably would never like believe in the whole like alternate universe, like different parallel realities and shit like that. That is a little too much for me. But yeah, when it comes to like things out there you're not too sure of, I mean, like people, they find and discover new animals like every day, whether they're like, in the water or an insect or something like that. Something's always found like new every so awesome. So there definitely could. If it was a Bigfoot, I mean, if it's breeding, I'm like, hey, more power to them. I mean, I don't think anyone has any like real proof of that because obviously if they're dying off somewhere, there should be some kind of like skeleton or something somewhere, unless like they adapt to the concept of burying their dead.
Well, that's what they believe. I mean, that's one of the beliefs is that they actually bury their dead, like humans. So,
yeah,
which is not uncommon among higher order species. So, like, I think even elephants have burial rituals. They may not bury their dead, but they have like funerals for their dead and stuff like that. And that's just elephants, so that doesn't even include like chimps or gorillas or whatever.
If elephants actually buried their dead, how long do you think it would take an elephant to dig a elephant-sized hole?
I don't know.
And how would they do it?
Trunks.
That's a really good question.
Right?
Trees.
Yeah, maybe. I think they're more likely to go like the burial cairn route and carry a bunch of rocks over and just cover their
Yeah, I think that
dead that way. But I don't know how they would develop that because I don't think they live in particularly rocky places for the most part.
Yeah. It's the guy like dump them into like a valley or some shit.
Yeah.
What's that fucking little valley in Land Before Time?
I don't even remember.
It's like the Valley of the Dead or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Goodness.
But yeah, but no, yeah. But yeah, definitely Bigfoot is probably the most known creature, like not only in probably like the United States, but probably in the world.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not just like this century.
Mm-mm.
It goes back like Indian time and even further back than that, probably.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's absolutely correct. I mean, like it's not just the 1900s, but like the 1800s, even the 1700s, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
I mean, speaking of 1700s, I mean that's where the story of the Jersey Devil starts.
There you go.
Segue.
Nice.
I know, right? But yeah, so I got the New Jersey folklore of the Jersey Devil. The most common description of the Jersey Devil is so basically this creature has a head of a goat, leathery bat-like wings, has horns, small arms with clawed hands, cloven hooves, and a forked tail. It is reported that it can move very quickly, and it's also described as emitting a blood-curdling scream. The history behind the Jersey Devil comes from the being known as the 13th child of the Leeds family, which, according to popular folklore, the Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrens resident known as Mother Leeds, a.k.a. Deborah Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children, and after finding she was pregnant for the 13th time, she cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil. During 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat head, bat wings, and a forked tail, growling and screaming. It killed the midwife before flying up the chimney and heading into the pines. Some versions of the tale, Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch, and the child's father was the devil himself. Some versions of the legend also states that there were subsequently an attempt by local clergymen to exorcise the creature from the Pine Barrens, or that the creature proceeded to kill local children. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the Jersey Devils, it's pretty well known. It's been pretty popular for centuries. There's been multiple encounters of it. The most noticeable encounter was in 1909 between January 16th to the 23rd. Newspapers published hundreds of claims encounters with the Jersey Devil from all over the state. There was at one point where even the Philadelphia Zoo posted a $10,000 reward for the creature. The offer prompted a variety of hoaxes, including a kangaroo with artificial wings. Yeah, and I looked more into that with the whole like kangaroo thing. Like that's kind of weird for someone to actually do, but I mean, when you look at the description of the Jersey Devil, it's not too far off from what you think a kangaroo would look like.
Right.
But when you look into it, there was a point where a publicist for the Philadelphia Arch Street, Norman Jeffries, publicist for the Philadelphia Arch Street Museum. He actually planted a non-fictional newspaper story about new sightings of the devil, and this was actually during 1909 when all these sightings occurred. Jeffrey, along with his friend Jacob Hope, who was an animal trainer, they purchased a kangaroo from a circus and attached claws and fake bat wings to the kangaroo. They declared to the public that they have captured the devil and it was on display for the museum in order to keep the museum up and running.
Interesting.
So a lot of people, obviously with most urban legends and like folklore, I mean, there are going to be people who make it up to kind of have the story. But there's, I mean, obviously, besides 1909, there's been multiple encounters and everything since the apparent birth of the thing back in 1735.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
creepy. So is it? What do you think? Is this a? Did the curse give it also some sort of immortality, or?
I mean, if I was to look at this as a guy who like believes this could possibly be like a real Jersey Devil, I would say I would follow this story and believe this story more so than kind of a breeding thing.
Gotcha.
Like I would say definitely immortality, and this is the actual creature being the 13th child of this woman. I would take that story over the possibility of this. Either like breeding like itself without, or being asexual or whatever the fuck it's called?
Right.
Okay.
Reproduce like a sponge?
Yeah, just like a sponge.
Like budding?
Like budding. No, yeah, I would say immortality. I mean, there was one story where a farmer claimed to have shot at it and there was no effects to it.
Right.
So, I mean, I would say immortality. I mean, I would say that this is probably like a one of a kind creature.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I think of all of them, these are probably like the three most common creatures that you hear about.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Well, let me pull up a quick list here. I went to mentalfloss.com and found a list of the 10 legendary monsters North America. This is just part 1. You guys check it out yourself if you want. But being number 1 is obviously the Chupacabra, which we already discussed with Geekash Joe. The next one we got on the list is called the Lugaroo, which
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, Lugaroo, they're demons that haunt the West Indies, particularly Haiti, Grenada, and the Dominican Republic. The name is a corruption of Loup Garou, the French werewolf.
That's what I wondered if that was what it was.
Yeah, Lugaroo is sometimes described as a witch or a vampire, but often is a shapeshifter that holds all the attributes of other monsters. This monster sucks blood from innocent victims, which is given to the devil in exchange for magical powers. The Lugaroo is closely related to the Sokuyant of Trinidad and Guadeloupe. If the Lugaroo sucks out too much blood, the victim will die and become a Lugaroo himself.
Interesting.
Yeah. Next one on the list here, we have La Llorona, which means the weeping woman. This legendary ghost of New Mexico, which baffles me because I don't think anything really happened in New Mexico, was once a beautiful woman named Maria. She rejected most of her suitors and married the most handsome young ranchero around. They were happy together for a time, and she bore 2 sons. But the handsome husband grew bored and turned to other women and ignored Maria. He even preferred the company of his sons over her. I don't know what that means. Which drove her to a jealous rage one night, and she threw the 2 boys in the Santa Fe River, and they drowned. In another version of the story, the children died while Maria was away cavorting with another man. Either way, she was responsible for their death and could not bear the guilt. Maria walked the riverside in her white gown, crying for her sons until she died of starvation on the riverbank. Her ghost came back and continued the vigil, wailing and screaming in the night. Now called La Llorona. I think that's how it's pronounced. No, it can't be. Double L's are silent, right?
They're a Y sound, I think.
So
well, I don't know. It depends if she's French or Mexican.
I'm gonna go with Mexican. Maria. He's gotta be Mexican.
That's fair.
Yes.
Oh, we'll go La Llorona. Whatever. She attacks those who venture to the river at night, looking to kill people in her grief. The tale is also told among other rivers in the southwest and is used to scare children away from the dark, dangerous waters. Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, though. I've never heard of that one before, and I gotta say, if that was a movie, I'd watch that.
Mm-hmm.
The Hodag. The
Hodag?
Hodag. Hodag.
Hodag.
Yep.
Hodag.
That's how I'd say it,
Yeah, that
because
one.
it's a Wisconsin one, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. A ferocious animal native to Wisconsin, the black hodag was first discovered in 1893 and was the largest of the several hodag species. It has 2 horns and a series of spikes along its spine. There are also the side hill dodge hodags, the cave hodags, and the shovel-nose hodags.
Rhinelander, Wisconsin actually has a giant statue of one.
That's awesome. Isn't that's their local school mascot there too, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
El Sobreon, I think it's like sombrero or some shit, is the man with the biggest hat. He is short and wears a thick belt and heavy boots. The legend in Guatemala tells of him always wearing a black hat while he victimizes young women. Legend goes that the young girl named Susana in La Rección, whatever it is, yeah, she had pretty hair and big old peepers. That means eyes. That's what the story says. That means eyes. While admiring the moon, the stars from her balcony one night when she was approached and serenaded by a man in a big hat. Worried and upset that her daughter was outside so late, Susanna's parents forced her to come inside. The man in the hat returned and serenaded her each night, making it impossible for her to sleep. And whenever her parents would try to feed her, she'd find the food contaminated with dirt. Fed up, the parents cut the girl's hair and had it blessed by a priest. Naturally, this caused the goblin to stop bothering her. I don't think you ever mentioned it being a goblin.
Nope.
Kind of give it away there. Either because of the holy water or because she didn't like chicks with pixie cuts. He has a habit of braiding the hair on horses and dogs when no one is around. A similar goblin is also called Tizimite. Your name, depending on local language. Legend casts him as a general boogeyman of Mexico.
Interesting.
Joey, I don't know how you could read without fucking coughing, man. This is brutal.
Practice.
Oh, all right. Throat is so dry. Next one is a skunk ape, which Colin, you referred to as being one of the names for Bigfoot in a different region.
Yep.
Skunk ape appears now and again throughout the American Deep South, from Oklahoma to North Carolina, but most sightings have been reported in Florida. Creature gets its name from an awful odor. In 2000, an anonymous letter accompanied several photographs purporting whatever to show an ape in Mayaca City, Florida. The writer of the letter seemed to think this was an escaped orangutan. Oh shit! But no missing apes were reported. I'm going to assume if a zoo was missing an ape, they wouldn't report it. They'd probably keep that shit secret.
Right?
Right? I mean, fucking I would. Later, an investigation was launched over a horse that was injured by an unknown animal in the same area. Ugh. Gauro. A Gauro was the first reported in Arkansas in 1897. It lives in the lakes and caves of Arkansas and got its name from the horrible sound it makes. The Gauro was described as a 20-foot-long reptile with enormous tusks that ate livestock. Holy shit. One enterprising Arkansasian claimed to have captured a Gauro. I don't know. Joey, Gowrow.
Gowrow? Yeah, Gauro works for me.
Gauro. And would let the public see it for a small price of admittance. But just before the reveal, he announced the Gauro had escaped. The audience was so busy running in terror that no one asked for their money back.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Jackalopes. which, I mean, we all know is a breed between a rabbit and an antelope. I'm not going to read the history on that one. The Loveland frog. Loveland, Ohio has multiple sightings recorded of an unusual reptile which has become known as the Loveland frog. The most famous sighting was by a police officer, Ray Shockey, in 1972. He saw the animal laying beside the road, and when he approached it, it got up on two legs and ran away. He described it as 3 to 4 feet tall, about 60 pounds, with a face like a frog or lizard. Officer Mark Matthew had a similar encounter a couple of weeks later. The story grew as it was retold, and the other officers say they never thought the creature was a monster, but possibly an escaped pet. However, there has been other sightings, particular ones from 1955. A businessman reported that he saw 3 creatures beside the road that were 3 to 4 feet tall, had wrinkles on their head instead of hair, webbed feet, and hands. The bizarre thing about the earlier sightings is that one of the creatures waved a wand that emitted sparks. And the last one we have here on this list is the Beast of Bladenboro. The Beast of Bladenboro is a huge cat-like monster. Beginning in late 1953, Bladenboro, North Carolina, was the scene to unexplained attacks. A farmer saw a beast resembling a cat carrying his dog off. Several dog carcasses were later found drained of blood. Hunters came from all over the country to hunt the vampire beast until the small town got sick of the hoopla. The bobcat was then shot and displayed, and the world was assured that the beast has been found. Although some reports have surfaced that the beast remains active, it hasn't stopped Bladenboro from hosting the annual festival centered around the legend, which apparently is this weekend from when this list was made. And this list was made October 25th of 2012. So who knows? Maybe that thing still goes on.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, apparently those are at least the top 10 that are known in the United States.
Most of them I've never even heard of.
Oh, yeah, no, same here.
Yeah, there were more I hadn't heard of than I thought.
Yeah.
Because I like listening to lots of podcasts about that kind of stuff, and so I thought maybe I'd hear some more, or that I recognize more than I did. But
I have one that I want to mention, and that's the Mothman.
Mothman!
Yeah, Point Pleasant. I want to say, where is it? One second. How do you spell mall? West Virginia. Yeah, and that's actually another popular one. It actually spawned the book, The Mothman Prophecies. And then later on the movie, but it's like the Jersey Devil. It's a bipedal flying creature. Said to it was around a lot in the 70s, 60s, yeah, 60s. Between November of 66 to December of 67. It was in West Virginia, and they actually have a festival now for it, and it was something that was reported on back and then really heavily. It was actually stopped. The reporting stopped or slowed down a lot after the Silver Bridge collapse. And it seems they said that most all the everybody was more focused on the tragedy of the bridge collapse than the Mothman, so it's kind of went to the wayside. But there's still somewhat reportings on the Mothman. So
Nice.
Yeah. Joey, being from Indiana, have you ever been to Churubusco, Indiana?
I have been to Churubusco.
Okay. Have you heard the legend of the Beast of Busco?
I have not.
Yeah, it's rumored to be a 500-pound snapping turtle.
Ha! I believe that because it's Turtle Town, USA.
Well, that's where it got its name from.
Yeah.
Yep, which they claim to see, which is basically an enormous snapping turtle they saw back in 1949.
Weird.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's really interesting. Well, and turtles can live basically forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility that there is a 500-pound snapping turtle in that area.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unless you're my ex-girlfriend, then they only live for like 3 weeks because you don't know how to take care of shit. But that's for a different day.
Sorry, turtles in the wild can live basically forever.
Right? I mean, not when you put them inside an aquarium and just leave them there.
Yep.
But, so I got this map of the monsters of America, and there's like 32 of them or something like that, and a lot of them look aquatic. And a lot of them kind of look like the Loch Ness Monster, which I think is one of the most historic ones of like the world itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they have the Mothman on here, like Colin mentioned. Chupacabra's on here. Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot-like creature called Nobby. Yep. Ozark Hollow. The Ozark Howler. Yeah. There's one named Kipsy, and noticeably a lot of these are like New England states. Like a lot of East Coast, not too much in like the Midwest, except for obviously the Beast of Busco, and let's see here, what's number 5 on this list? Bessie, which is a lake monster in Lake Erie, which literally looks like Nessie.
Yep.
Yeah.
A plesiosaur.
Yeah. And then and then the Loveland Frogman, which is also in Ohio. So other than that, everything else looks like it's east, a little bit south. Yeah, I think it kind of just
monster.
Which one was that?
Number 27, Pope Lick Monster.
Yeah. Don't forget the Wampus cat of Tennessee.
I love me a Wampus.
Pope Lake Monster.
What is that from?
What's what from?
Oh, it's from How I Met Your Mother. The Wampus.
Oh, I don't know.
Wampus?
Yeah.
I know it from Pottermore.
Wampus. No, that's not from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, the guy makes the beer.
Yep. Like when I Google it, it shows right up.
I might be thinking of something else then. I remember hearing Wampus.
Yeah.
I think I'm thinking of something else because I think I've heard that somewhere else. Oh. Yeah, I know I heard it from. I heard it from a YouTube channel that I watch about wrestling. He has a wrestling guy on there called the Wampus. That's where I heard it from. That's where I heard it from. There we go. But yeah, the whole world is definitely covered in creatures, but we only cover North America. So you listeners out there, go on Twitter, use the hashtag Freakin Sane, and let us know which creature you find the most interesting, or maybe you encountered one that you want to kind of share with us. Go on Twitter, use the hashtag Freakin Sane, or go onto our Facebook at This Freaking Show and leave a comment. Who knows? Maybe someone did see Bigfoot out there, or happened to come across the Pope Lick Monster. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Colin, what are you freaking on this week?
Oh, what am I freaking on this week? Oh, I have my review for work tomorrow. Pretty excited about that one.
Nice. This will be this is your 4th year here, right?
I've been working here for 4 years, correct?
Nice.
It's exciting.
Yeah. I think so. I thoroughly enjoy it. So.
Oh, good. It's kind of the most important part.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Joe, how about you? What are you freaking on?
I don't even know what I'm freaking on this week. I'm so tired. Yeah, I've had a couple of sleepless nights, and so it's sort of foggy. But probably my co-host Nico's birthday was this weekend, and it was actually yesterday, as of our recording. And I've known the guy for probably 15 years and never knew when his real birthday was or how old he actually is.
Yeah.
So his wife outed him and threw him a little surprise birthday party yesterday. So
Nice.
yeah, that was a good time. Drank some PBRs and
Ugh.
then came home and didn't go to bed. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was good time. Good seeing people. Good hanging out and trying one on a little. So, how about you, Travis? What are you geeking on this week?
Well, I'm really excited that I got to be a guest on Geek Dig Pod for this week. So I'm really excited for that show to come out, to kind of like re-listen to it. I'm also excited that Colin was able to be a guest on it last week. It was nice to kind of listen to Colin on a podcast other than this freaking show.
Yeah, he popped my cherry for being on a second podcast. So
He did. So it was a lot of fun to be on. It's always fun talking to Clint. I strongly encourage Clint not to try to be the producer of this freaking show. Yeah, Joe, I'm not sure if you're going to have the opportunity to listen to it or if you will listen to it, but he recommended that there'll be times where you and Colin should head up the shows. To where maybe you guys do the intros and stuff like that. And I politely told Clint
to shove it.
No. But no, I mean he did have a valid point about it. I mean, like if you guys feel like I take too much of the talking now, please let me know. And
go right ahead.
Yeah, you good?
I'm good.
I gotta say, I mean, I was impressed with Colin's guest spot the entire way up until Clint asked him to plug the podcast, and he goes, "Oh,
shit, which podcast I'm on?"
Yeah.
But no, he did. Colin did a great job. The show was entertaining. I listened to the whole thing, especially talking about the farting on governor and the love of eggs.
Yes. So
that was enjoyable, and so I'm excited to hear what the show that we had this week. And I'm also super excited that I finally got through the Charlie Sheen era of 2.5 Men, and I finally got onto the Ashton Kutcher era, so I'm excited to do that.
Nice. It was you that mentioned they liked the Ashton Kutcher better than the...
Yes.
Okay.
That's true, yeah. I started watching the first couple episodes of the Ashton Kutcher era already, and yeah, they're definitely a little more enjoyable. It's slightly more raunchier in like a clean sense, if that makes
That sounds contradictory, but
it does. But I'm saying it's weird. Like they're raunchy, but in like a clean way.
In a clean way.
In a clean way, they're more raunchy. But yeah, I mean, I just like it. So I'm excited to watch the rest of that, and I'm just excited to be on Geek Dig, and I'm really excited because Fear is Fear's going through a life change now where he's going to start doing more social media stuff. So I'm really excited to see what he does with that too. So I'm also really freaking on that, which, a lot of it's going to be like more Fifth Cast, more Fear Cast, and more box office beats. So It's like I told him, he could possibly be the next great social media personality. So I do believe that, and hopefully he does achieve that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Every week our listeners can catch Geekcast Joe here on this freaking show. But if 1 hour of Geekcast Joe a week isn't enough, where can they go?
If you need more Geekcast Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at gcl.ninja. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier in the show, next week is the season finale of Season 2, which means 2 weeks from now, we are starting up Season 3. within the time span of season 3, I would like to get a new logo for the show and possibly a brand new theme song. As we posted on our Facebook page, our social media page, we are looking to you guys to help us with that. So if you are an artist, a computer designer, whatever the fuck those things are called, help me out here. What's the word?
Graphic designer?
Yeah, graphic designer. If you're a graphic designer, an artist, whatever, and you think like you may have an idea for what a new logo for this freaking show could be, submit it to us. Send it in to us. Send it to thisfreakinshow@yahoo.com. We'll look through them. We will decide which the best one is. And all the other ones that get sent in, they won't go to waste. We'll use them as kind of like little posters for the release shows. You know, because I mean, your hard work should be appreciated, and maybe we'll even put them up on the website somewhere too, so they can still be displayed. Because obviously, if you worked hard to create something, it should be appreciated, and of course, we will do that as well. Also, if you're a local band or local musician or something like that, and you feel like maybe you could create the perfect theme song for this freaking show, create it, submit it to us, and let us know. If you want to collaborate with us on an idea of what we think we should have for it, you know, get in touch with us. Go to our website, thisfreakinshow.com. Contact us. Go to our Facebook. Just message us, whatever. We would love for you to become the next creator of This Freaking Show theme song. And obviously, you'll get plugged every week in our show notes and everything for doing so, because you deserve that at least. Go to Facebook. Go to Instagram. Go to Twitter. Just search This Freaking Show. We'll pop right up. Follow us and stay connected with us. If you're on iTunes listening to us right now, when this show is over, give us a 5-star review and rate it. You know, rate it, review it, whatever you got to do to show us how much you love us. Make sure you check out Firepit Bar and Grill, and also go to wearedappertise.com. Help support the people who support us. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Awkward Kyle.
And I'm Geekcast Joe.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.